Gentleman from Oklahoma.
Madam Speaker, I yield myself the remainder of time.
Gentleman has 3¼ minutes remaining.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My fellow members, let me rise to conclude the House Agriculture, the Republican portion of this discussion this evening, and remind my colleagues one more time that this bill has a tremendous effect on rural America and production agriculture. When 115 farm groups send in letters and food groups expressing their opposition to the bill, that says something. 115 groups. Madam Speaker, I would also be remiss if I didn't express my appreciation and the appreciation of my colleagues on the Republican side of the Ag Committee to Chairman Peterson. He made, we believe, a good faith effort in negotiations with Chairman Waxman to try and correct the worst features of this bill. Unfortunately, good faith in the legislative process doesn't always cure every problem. The fundamental underlying issue still is this bill will raise the cost of energy for production agriculture, an energy-intensive business. It will reduce our competitiveness with our competitors around the world, South America, Asia, Europe. But look at the way the so-called grand compromise on agriculture was put together. Compromise is a phrase used in one of the electronic publications this morning. Indirect land use, where an agency of the federal government can determine how your corn farm or your wheat farm affects farms on other continents and tell you to change the way you do your business. Now, I know the bill says that can't happen for 5 years, and then we'll have a study and a moratorium for another year. But 6 years from now, it comes at us like a brick bat. The section of the bill talking about farms being able to be rewarded for good stewardship, carbon sequestration, and those kind of matters. The bill says, the amendment adopted, the practices can only be rewarded if they began after 2001. You heard my friend from Iowa talk about the percentage of corn farmers who adopted those good practices before 2001. How do you explain to the folks back home that the good farmers, the good stewards, don't get anything, but the bad farmers who waited until they were ashamed or embarrassed into adopting the best practices get rewarded? Renewable fuel. Yes, we protect facilities that were under construction or have been completed or in production in 2007 and before. But that doesn't apply to everything since then. If you've got a mature ethanol plant, you're in good shape. But does that mean no one else can build an ethanol plant? We, on the minority side of the Ag Committee, view ourselves as the conscience of the body. We have a responsibility to defend rural America and production agriculture. We thank Chairman Peterson for what he tried to accomplish, but we believe it is not enough to protect the future of farming and ranching and the folks out in rural America. That's why we have to be united in our opposition against this bill. I'm a farmer by trade. I may not always be a member of this body, but I'm going home to Oklahoma. I can't vote for this and go home to Oklahoma. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Gentleman's time.